Hello, Planet Zooers. Welcome back to the Houston Zoo. Sorry I did not get an episode out last week. I had a really rough week at work and I was super tired. So I think I'm going to start doing every other week for Houston Zoo and the franchise mode. So there's still going to be a video every week. It's just going to be one or the other. So next week will be the franchise mode. October is just a really busy month for us. I do apologize for Ruby. I don't know why she's so cranky today, but I keep restarting, so some of them are staying. Anyway, we are here in the Worthing World of Primates area, and we're starting off with a double lemur habitat. So today we're just putting in the red Ruffed Lemurs. So this is their little interior that they're gonna have, and I'm gonna have I guess I don't know what they're called, but anyway, I'm gonna have both lemurs, and I'm gonna separate the habitats, even though they can be in the same ones. I decided to go ahead and split it because when you walk through here, this section has a bunch of small monkeys. So since lemurs are technically a primate, I decided to use them for this little section. And so I'm gonna build one of the viewing areas. I don't quite get it all finished, but I will do that in the next episode. So we're gonna work our way through this primate area to fill in this space. I'm really tempted to kind of start on the other side of the zoo. I haven't decided what direction I'm going to go just yet. I do know I'm going to finish this walkthrough first with the primates, and then we'll see if we'll do big cats or if I'm going to go over and do the alligators. So what I'm building here is the mesh, what are those called? I guess support beams. So it'll create the enclosure for these lemurs. So I made one of these, and I used the rotate snap off, but the snap to object on, so that I could get those to pop just right in the right spots. I used the wall there so I could get the mesh to align. I guess, it was horizontal, but flip it over so that it would be, just right, straight up and down, since I was struggling to get that to have the right angle. And then just copying these around, moving a couple of them to keep them 4 meters on the front side to make it a little easier. The back side obviously will have more space, so I'll have to use different pieces. I used the 4 meter because when I got right here, I was like, oh, I'm not sure if I can line that up without the 4 meter. So I used the 4 meter to make sure it was lined up, and then changed it back to a 1x4, and then put in the smaller ones to get it to fit. And then we're gonna just duplicate these guys after getting the top support in here and bring it all straight up, and then we'll build the back side of it and use the same process. This willow was really in the way, and so I did the same thing kind of here, just to get those to aim right. Sometimes it's really hard, and I do like how these pieces, the anchor point is at the back, so it does make it a lot easier to aim them when you're doing it by hand. So right there, I was like, oh, I should have grabbed all these too. So we'll grab those and we'll bring them up. And I had put them all in the same group, so I had to adjust this one just a little bit. So I had to do that by highlighting them all. And we'll get this back side. We're gonna do the red Rough Lemurs here, and then we'll do the other type of lemur on the other side. I will finish off the top part in the next video. I really just kind of got tired, honestly, and I wasn't sure how to get that to work. so I didn't attempt it just yet. So I'm going to start the top section because it really isn't realistic to leave it open, because these lemurs would be able to actually climb their enclosure right here, where the game says, oh, this isn't climbable, so they won't be able to get out. However, for realism, I do need to put the mesh along the top side, and so since it's so curvy, it will take a little bit of thinking about how I'm going to do that. I'm probably going to use the 2x1 or 4x1, and just go so it's, the 4 meters across and then the 1 meter up. Do that angle for that curve. It did have a curved top in the image, so I did want to stay true to the shape, but I knew that would make putting this mesh up there a little more difficult. Another thing I could do is, instead of doing the mesh, I could just duplicate that curved piece all the way and make it look solid, but I'm not sure how that will look since these curved pieces are round. I'm not sure if that will blend well. And to get that little straight piece in, I had to go up high so I could get it to snap and make sure that it was straight up and down and not at any funny angles. So we're gonna bring that up, and then I grabbed these two from the top to keep that same space that they're in, make it easier than trying to duplicate and turn it, and then brought that whole group straight up. And then I decided I needed to kind of level them out. I probably should have done the front side first, but oh well, that's okay. And then right here, I had to use a whole bunch of little ones for this curve to get this so that it was sealed in case anybody does look that close. It did bother me a little. I couldn't get all the squares to line up perfectly, but at the same time, how many people are going to be this close in at the curved section to see the little pieces? And I just grabbed those and brought them around. And then once I got it done, we're going to bring this group and tuck it in to the back side here. So right here, I do need to finish off the top section. That's what I was talking about a little bit earlier. And they had a pretty basic habitat. I did their climbing structure a little bit differently than it is in the zoo. They had a lot of what looked like, broken limbs and things like that. When I checked the broken limb options in the game, the ones I could find were not climbable, and I wanted to make sure that they had things to climb on. So I went with these bigger logs, and the habitat did have a gentle slope coming, from the backside. It was higher in the terrain and to a low section for the animals down at the front. So I decided I would just, copy this and bring it a little higher level and give them the vines and give them these logs to climb on. And I went ahead and added an extra height to it. The Houston Zoo, theirs was all pretty much low. I think their actual enclosure is a little shorter. But I'm pretty happy with how this little enclosure came out. The guests can walk up and see them. They have their own little space back there that they can hide. I do still need to put in their enrichments and their bedding. And I decided to put their food kind of up high so that it also would get them climbing up to the higher spots. But I needed a way for the staff to be able to get up there. And originally I was gonna have that sticking out at the top, and then I changed my mind and brought it lower and got rid of it so it had support, but I didn't want it to be in the way of the staff traversable area, and I had to get rid of that little opening right there. But next time we'll continue on with this section, so we'll do a full walkthrough when it's all done. So thank you for checking out my video today. Please subscribe if you enjoy my content, and may the RNG odds be ever in your favor.